The Coonass podcast is intended for adult audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
In the bayou, you gotta get down in the mud to find the good stuff. It's dark, it's dangerous, and we don't give a shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Coonass podcast. Oh my fucking god. This one is one you don't want to miss. If you miss this, then I'm going to post this on fucking Facebook. This motherfucker here, I swear to God, these motherfucking American Airlines. Take your fucking medicine. So without further ado, I want to update everyone of the status of my American Airlines ordeal. So, if you have not watched the podcast on Facebook, I've decided to put this on YouTube, because I'm going to push a direct link to American Airlines so they can watch my rebuttal. What's up, Jack? How you doing? So, let's get this started. Now, more than likely, a lot of you are going to be watching this on Facebook because y'all usually check the podcast out on Facebook. Well, this one has to be on YouTube because this American Airlines is getting this video. So, American Airlines, watch carefully. Watch very carefully. Truth will be told here. Not your bullshit, not anything else. The truth. No threats, no nothing. Because I've already have courses of actions in play. So, sorry. So, you had your chance. You blew your chance. So I want the whole world to see exactly what went down and what happened in our side of the story. So, I'm going to go through the whole ordeal. I was trying to be nice. I was trying to give people a chance. I was trying to see if somebody could make something right. Because I work in the service industry, and I know that you have to give a company a chance to make it right. Well, apparently, they didn't do it. They had the chance. They were going to. But some dumb shit on the other end of fucking Twitter has decided that they don't know proper English or what is offered, and therefore just fucked it up. So let's go into the story. So, my wife and I, this past weekend, flew up to St. Louis to visit my sister and her husband. We also went to see the Foo Fighters in concert, which was badass. Okay, we had a good weekend. We had a great weekend up in St. Louis. Fell in love with that city. That city kicks ass. Went to a Blues game. Awesome weekend. Couldn't have asked for anything better. My sister and her husband, Oog, gracious host. I thank you if you watch this. Thank you for the time we had. I had a great time. So, no problems flying up there. So let's start with Monday. So we get to St. Louis early. We do a couple things. Wait for our fly to Dallas. We have 55 minutes for the layover to get over to our terminal, which we did in plenty of time. We get over there. We get on the plane. Well, I'll take that back. We didn't get. I don't know if we did get on the plane. Well, they delayed it and they said there's a radar issue. They got to move the plane out. So, they changed planes. Then, what happens? Oh, thank you, Jack. I appreciate that. So then they bring in another plane, which is a backup plane. Now, for those of you who don't know, American Airlines is based out of Fort Worth, Texas. So their main big-ass hangar is in Dallas. So they got planes out their ass, and they're like, okay, we're going to bring another plane. They bring another plane. There's something wrong with that plane. So now we're even further delayed and we get off the plane. Then they switched gates on us a couple times, so we had to rush to all these gates last second, whatever. Okay, fine. No big deal. Then we get to the other gate. We ask a few questions. Hey, if we're going to have our luggage, they say yes, blah, blah, blah. Now, people are aggravated. People are complaining in the terminal, walking from gate to gate. They're pretty pissed off. They're pretty mad. We're now delayed. We're delayed a while now. It's kind of like, what the fuck, you know? So, apparently, so we get on this other plane in another gate, and we're about to take off, and we're sitting in our seats. All this time, the only conversations my wife and I were about what's going on, because we have to get back in a certain amount of time to pick up our dogs from where they're being boarded. And if not, we have to let them know, hey, you might have to hold them another night. Okay, so we're calling people, letting them know what's going on. Okay, the only conversations that my wife and I had on that fucking plane was between us. We did not talk to the stewardesses. We did not talk to the captain or the flight crew. We barely talked to people at the ticket window. Like, we had just questions, like, are we going to get our luggage, whatever, what the fuck. Okay, so we get to the plane, we're sitting on there, and then a guy who works at Dallas Fort Worth, which you know, he was not a law enforcement agent. Didn't know who this guy was. Walks up the rows, and he stops in front of our seats. Looks at my wife and says, ma'am, you have to come with me. And I'm like, what's going on? He says, well, there was some cursing or something, ma'am, you have to deboard the plane. At that point in time, my wife says, look, now, grant you, let me repeat. She had no conversations with anyone else except for me. I know that for a fact. So American Airlines, if you say not, go fuck yourself, because that is not true. That is not true. Don't care what you say. It's not true. I am a witness. So she says, I'm sorry. We got dogs. We're trying to get out of here. It's too late. Y'all need to get off the plane. So we calmly deboard the plane. We did not say a word. We walked off the plane. We got off the plane. We're asking this guy questions. I asked, sir, what exactly is going on? What happened? Well, it could have been somebody complaining. He said, no. I need to talk to a supervisor. Well, no, you know, like blowing me off. Didn't even let me talk to a supervisor. I'm like, well, we need to know what exactly is going on here. Well, the pilot's going to file a report. Oh, did he file a report? No, he's going to do that in Lafayette. Well, what are we supposed to do? Well, y'all have a nice day. And just fucking leaves us stranded at Dallas Fort Worth. No one talks to us. No one tells us exactly what's going on. Okay? Nothing. Not an offer for another flight. Nothing. They just tell us your bags will be pulled off. You go get them at the terminal. That's it. That's it! I don't care what that pilot filed, and I'm going to find out. Because, well, let's just say in my line of work, I know a lot more things than you know. Okay? And I'm not going to say them on this podcast, but people know. I know a hell of a lot more than you. I have friends in very high places I've already made calls to. Oh, yes. If I wanted to, I could find out things that maybe I shouldn't. It's not a threat. Not at all. Because I've already told American Airlines what I'm going to do. So, we have to get a rental car. Hurry up and get a rental car. We couldn't get a rental car from DFW because they were empty. I had to get a reservation from Alamo at Love Field in Dallas, which is about 30 minutes away from DFW, get an Uber, drive over there, pick up the car, and haul ass. Now, about this time, it's about 5 o'clock in the evening. We're leaving Dallas. We didn't get home till after 12. 5 o'clock traffic. We didn't get through Dallas. It took an hour to just get through Dallas because of the traffic. So I had to pay over $200 for a rental car pay for food, pay for gas, pay an extra day for my dogs being boarded. So I had extra money and costs incurred in this trip. Not to mention, now there's a possibility that we're on this no-flight list. Now, American Airlines is saying we're not, but you know what? At this point in time, I don't trust those motherfuckers. I don't trust their shit, and I have somebody checking on it. And what he found out, well, I'm not going to get into here, but I will say, damn camera, I will say that that's another lie I caught them in. That's all I'm going to say there, and I'm going to leave it at that. Okay, so we get back. So on the way home, I call American Airlines customer service line, and they give me the fucking runaround. They don't give a fucking shit. They don't care. Oh, well, you got to write them. I said, no, I don't want to write nobody. I want to talk to somebody right fucking now. So apparently they try to push you back to control the dialogue. Well, American Airlines, you don't control my fucking dialogue. Because from what I can understand, the only expletives my wife said was in an adjective or adverb situation in a sentence talking about us having to get the fucking dogs or whatever, okay? It's amazing to me that the freedom of speech is now non-existent on an airplane. And I will say that more than likely, me flying will be a very small possibility in the future because I'm a First Amendment advocate, and I'm going to say what the fuck I want. As long as I'm not offending anybody or telling you to go fuck yourself or whatever, you know what? You know, oh yeah, Jack, you're right. When I was a kid, I'm going to explain why I picked American Airlines. I'm actually going to tell a story before I get into the meat and potatoes that I have and the proof I have. So when I was a kid, we lived in Evanston, Wyoming, which is pretty far from Lafayette, Louisiana, where I live now. You see, American Airlines, I'm not afraid to say who I am. Okay, so, you know, you think I'm going to put my foot in my mouth, well, I'll go fuck yourselves because I really don't give a shit at this point. And we would fly down, so back to the story, we would fly down from time to time during the summer or whatever to visit our family. There was one time we came alone. We flew on American Airlines. We've flown out of, I think, Denver or Salt Lake, one of those major airports. And the way the plane went, it went to, I think, Dallas or somewhere, or no, Houston, had a layover. But the same plane went to Lafayette. During that time, the stewardesses actually stayed on the plane with us and got us food and made sure we were safe. Okay? That's why I picked American Airlines. I picked American Airlines because I had a good, fond memory of them and their customer service. That's why I picked them. Simple. Simple. Customer service was great when I was a kid. So, Tuesday I decide I'm going to reach out to them on Twitter and tweeted about the situation. So they got back to me. And they wanted direct messages. So let's go. I'm going to show you these direct messages. I'm not afraid of American Airlines. I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of anything. This is facts. Facts I'm going to show you here. And how they totally blew their opportunity to make things right. Now, a disclaimer here. I'm not asking for the bank. I want what's fair. Fair. Okay? Fair for me is a refund of my fucking tickets for that day. That would be from because I didn't get to complete my flight. And my costs for my rental car and other expenses that I incurred on this trip because of some bullshit. Okay? That is what I think is fair. Okay? So I'm not asking for anything more than that. But let's get to what the conversation was. So we're going to go to the first slide here. Okay. So I didn't show the rest of the conversation because the rest of our conversation was the explanation of what happened to them. Okay? Now, I'm sorry you can't see this, the other arm here, but I want you to see this in plain view. Okay? So if you look over here, you see what happened. So as you can see, that we were having a discussion. They said, we will refund the unused portion of your tickets. And I said, well, it doesn't cover my expenses. Now I have to worry about being on a no-fly list and do not fly. And this affects me now with business because in my business, I'm in the service industry. And if that affects a background check, that can really fuck me. Okay. I don't go into what I do for a living, but it can because I go into some high priority spots. So we can understand your frustration. A refund of the rest of the ticket is the resolution we're able to provide. Okay, now let's study the statement here. Unused ticket up here. Unused ticket, rest a ticket. Unused ticket, rest a ticket. So in context, that means we're going to refund your tickets. Simple English, ladies and gentlemen. It's simple English. Simple English. There's no way you can fuck this up, really. There is no fucking way you can mess up this conversation in the context that it is. Again, we will refund a portion of your ticket, and then we understand your frustration. A refund of the rest of the ticket is what we're able to provide. Simple English. Simple. You can't fuck that up. So what you're saying is just like this. Let me give you 50 cents to buy a Coke. Oh, it's $1. Here, let me give you the rest of it. That's exactly what they're saying. There's no question. None. Zero. Zippo. You can't fuck this up. If you have a normal high school education, you can understand what this conversation said. I don't give a shit who you are. Very simple. Now, let's go to the next slide. Now, let me preface the next slide. So the next slide, I get back with them later on that night because there was some weird like back and forth charges on my bank account. So I asked them about it, what happened. I had to. Here's another thing. I paid to pick my seat. I couldn't pick my seat. I had to buy preferred seats so my wife and I could sit together. That's another issue for another time. Okay, that's just icing on the fucking cake here. Okay, so I talked to him and I say, okay, so blah blah blah. I just wanted to know when should I expect my refund or whatever. Okay, and they're saying then I get this slide. Let me move this. Apparently, they tell me I'm getting a partial refund after showing me the previous slide that I was getting a refund of my tickets. I even told them the time of day, and they say they take a look back at your DMs you're referring to, like we see the refund was for the unused portion. No, motherfuckers. Okay, here is a lesson in phonics, and let's go back here. Let me go back here. Okay, let's go over this again so you understand, American Airlines, because I'm forwarding this video to you so you understand. Let's talk about customer service. Okay, I've been in the customer service industry for 17 years. Actually, longer than that with other industries, but 17 years in my fucking field. My customer would understand this. Mrs. Jones, what we can do for your service, we can give you a partial refund. She tells me, well, you know what, we'll give you the rest of it. Very simple. Fucking an idiot can understand this shit. Partial refund. Refund of rest of ticket. Partial refund. Refund of rest of ticket. Very simple English. And instead, they're trying to get out of shit, and they say this. So, you guys might be wondering, what is the Coonass going to do about this? Well, first of all, this video will be posted on their Twitter. So, American Airlines, when you watch this, pay attention. It's simple English. You offered me a full refund of my tickets that day. You offered a full refund. I accepted those terms. You cannot twist this at all. I don't care what you say. You can try to twist it all you want. It's very plain and simple, and the English is very easy to understand on these pictures. These are actually from my Twitter account. So this is what's about to happen. There will be a complaint filed with the Department of Transportation with this exact information how you went back on your word. Because by law, on the Department of Transportation, I should be getting 200% of the ticket price. Yeah, and I'm going to pursue that now. So that would be the whole trip. You had a chance to refund one day. Now you're going to refund two. Because that is the law. Also, I will be describing the individual at DFW that pulled us off the terminal without any information because he hit his name tag. I have a complete description of him, what gate and everything. That will be investigated. That son of a bitch. Oh, I'm getting there, Jack. That son of a bitch, I'm going to have his ass. Because I have people that live in Dallas. If I have to go and buy a cheap airline ticket just to get through TSA to interview this son of a bitch on the Coonass podcast, I will, and ask him why. I will go that far for my podcast. Probably won't do it. But I want answers. I'm also going to email the Vice President of Customer Relations with American Airlines. That's right. I got his email. What? You think that you can hide behind numbers and Twitter and little bitty emails? Well, the internet is such a glorious thing that you can find out executive emails. And I've done this before. And it's always worked. Because when you tell the truth, and truth is on your side, and something's done wrong to you. See, I'm not a guy that's going to sit idly by and let a company like you run all over me just because I'm the little man. Okay? This little man got a big fucking mouth. And this little man is going to say something when it's wrong. Okay? That is a rare trait in America nowadays, but I'm not afraid to do it. I have nothing to fucking lose. Okay? I don't have fear. I don't live in fear. Okay? In fact, let me take these images down because I'm tired of these images. Okay? I don't live in fear. I don't live fearing what a big company can do to me because we have the power. That's something you've forgotten, American Airlines. We are the consumer. You work for us. You work for us. And I'm very appalled at the fact that you offered me something that we were in agreement with, which were the guidelines of the Department of Transportation's rules for flyers. And I was good with that because that would have covered the rental car. That would have covered everything. And I would have been fine. Look, there's Charlie Bear right here. Okay? We covered everything. We would have covered everything. I would have been happy. I even went on my last podcast and gave you props that you were handling the situation. Now, guess what? What change does a day make? Or what the fuck? What difference does a day make, right? You need to fix your shit. Okay? If people are frustrated, use the context of a fucking word rather than just doing like that. We are protected by the First Amendment, and I don't give a fuck what an airline says about, oh, it's our plane. You know what? Your plane wasn't in the air. Your plane was on American fucking soil. American fucking soil. We're protected by the First Amendment, and it goes both fucking ways. American soil. We weren't in the air. We weren't anything. There was no aggression towards anybody, just frustration. But yeah, you decide, oh, we're just going to kick them off. Strand them. Fuck you, have a nice day. Don't give a shit about people. Well, you know what? I'm sorry. That doesn't cut it with me. That does not fucking cut the mustard. I don't give a fuck what excuse you give me. I don't give a shit. If your pilot feels threatened because of an F-bomb, he's a fucking pussy. Pilots have too much fucking power on planes. Because the other thing I'm going to do, I'm calling my congressman, calling my senator, and I'm letting them know they need to redo this shit. This cannot continue. I'm not the first person. I'm not going to be the fucking last. This fucking Gestapo fucking airline industry is bullshit. I mean, it's not our fault as a consumer that you don't know how to manage your fucking company. You got to change shit, you know? And I don't give a shit. I mean, I really don't give a shit what excuse you give me. It was uncalled for. But you don't care. Well, you're going to fucking care. Because I will fucking badger the fuck out of you. And I will fucking put a big ass sign in front of my airport. American Airlines lies. I'll make shirts. I will fuck with you until this is right. Now that I will do. And it'll be all truth. You can't touch me. It's all truth. I just showed you the truth. I just showed you that your company lied to the Coonass. You're on my shit list. And when you're on my shit list, I fuck with you until something's done. That's just how it is. That's the great thing about social media. It's a great thing. You know, we now have power. We now can tell our stories. Instead of you sweeping it under the rug and calling bullshit, we now have that fucking power. And you're going to respect that power. You're going to respect it now. Because this is ridiculous. This is the most appalling thing I've ever been through. Oh, and don't think you can lie about me about things on a list or anything or any flags, because I have people who work at DHS that could fucking find that out for me very quickly. Yeah. So that might be an issue later on too, if that's not handled correctly. I'm just letting you know. I'm not going to idly sit here and take your shit. Don't care, American Airlines. And the way I spell American Airlines is Amerika Airlines. In fact, you know, let's have some fun here. Let's have some fun. You know, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a text. And I'm going to do this. You see, this is a great thing about this. Let me select font here. Oh, my half hour is up. Thank you. Thank you, Jack. We don't do that. But I just wanted to go ahead and talk about this situation. Now, again, for my Facebook subscribers, I'm sorry. I have to do this on YouTube so I can post this on their site. And I will be having another podcast very soon on Facebook describing the changes that were coming to the Coonass podcast. But this podcast is specifically for American Airlines. Now, guys, make it right. Make it fucking right. Okay? From one person coming from a service industry to another, make it right. If you tell me you're going to do something, do it. Don't fucking renege on any shit just because you want to try to have control and control the dialogue. You're not controlling this dialogue. Okay? You were wrong. Period. You were wrong. I don't care what you say. I don't care what any excuse you say. Everybody I've talked to, every person I've talked to said you were wrong for doing that. Every person I've talked to. Okay? If you think they were right, then you must have gotten a freaking brain aneurysm that made you just lose your shit all of a sudden. A lobotomy, something that you forgot that we live in America. Okay? Oh, and by the way, I have another surprise about this too that I'm working on. Don't think this is the only video or media that's going to talk about this. Okay? Don't think I'm finished, because I'm just getting started. Unless you can fix this problem, unless you can actually make it right like you said you would, I'll stop. Other than that, again, this might not be the only media talking about this. Might not be. And it's all under Creative Commons, so it's creative. That's the great thing about being a podcaster, and the great thing about being a musician is I can write things and it's protected. Freedom of speech is protected. Remember that. And again, it'd be different if my wife and I were yelling at people, being belligerent, being aggressive towards anybody. That didn't happen at all. Don't care what your report says. It's a lie. I will go as far as I will subpoena, if I have to, the people on the flight to show you. Okay? If somebody complained because an F-bomb was dropped, go fuck yourself, learn context, and stop trying to impede your shit on me. Don't fucking impose your shit on me. Sorry, I used impede. Sorry, impose. Sorry, I'm just a little pissed off. Don't impose your shit on me. We live in America. It's free speech. If you don't, it's not like we're fuckity fuck all over the place. Okay? But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the story. That is the current update of the American Airlines situation. This will be posted on their site. This is my rebuttal to them. I'm sorry, but this is me. This is how I speak, and if you don't like it, go fuck yourself. That's just how it is. I'm sorry. I impose my freedom of speech every day. Okay? So with that, American Airlines, you have a chance. One more chance. I don't think you're going to do anything, so I'm just going to have to go follow through with the things I want to do anyway. But let's see. Let's see if you have the balls to actually do the right thing. Okay? So with that, ladies and gents, y'all have a good night. I will be on probably next few days. Bye.